Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's have a look tonight at NEO stock. When we have a look at NEO over the past 5 days, we are seeing a trend now where the stock is up by another 14%, with the question after the past month being up by 45% being, where do we go from here? Well, over the course of this video, I'll be sharing with you all of my personal thoughts and opinions on what might come next. If it sounds like a good episode, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, it does help me out a lot. But please remember as well, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Now I've said that though, we might as well jump straight into the video. And for this, I'd like to come over here and have a look at this on the more technical side of things. And you can see here the stock is actually holding up really strongly over the past couple of days and weeks. We've seen the stock essentially moving up in a very healthy pattern over the past few months, really since the early part of July. Now why I think this is so good is because NEO stock is establishing some very clear floors, some very clear levels of support. Initially at 450, then coming down to roughly 590. Now we are seeing the potential for the same thing to happen again. We've had a major push up, and it's now going to be about establishing the potential for a floor. Now at the same time, you've seen this happen in every sort of trend. You've seen the stock essentially rise, as we have done. We've found a bit of a top, then we've taken some time to consolidate. Now of course you may get to a situation where this isn't the case, but I do think it could be possible that NEO could be entering a consolidation period over the next week or so. Now again, I may be wrong. To a degree, I hope I am, because if I am, then the stock price will likely continue to go up. But at the same time, I think context is important. We're talking about a stock that's up nearly 50% over the past 30 or so days. To see this one consolidate at levels close to where we are now would be very good. It would help us to establish new levels of support. It would give us a strong floor, potentially for the next leg up. So that is kind of one of the things which I do see as a possibility going forwards into the next week. However, what is different this time to times in the past? Well, despite the rise up that we have seen, so again, this is an alternative scenario, because my intention here, guys, is not to give you a definitive answer, right? I give you the levels that I'm looking for, the scenarios that I think are possible, then you guys can go on to do your own research and come to your own conclusions, but hopefully these videos do help you. Now, one thing that is somewhat different this time is, despite the recent run-up that we've seen, NEO stock price on the RSI is actually not in the overbought range. It's still relatively high, but we're certainly coming back down a lot more towards the normal end of things. Now you look back to where we've been on previous runs up, I'm going to correlate this jump up to here, and again you see this here in the jump that we're seeing right now. Then you can look back to this period here, high RSI all through this time, until we eventually went to the oversold territory briefly. Now why this matters in context is because it means that NEO stock is nowhere near as high up on the RSI, right? It's not considered on this indicator to be as overbought as it has been at similar periods in this trend, right? We obviously did go to overbought briefly, but it's cooled off quite quickly from here. Now what that means is that the dip that we may see this time could be a little bit shallower. You could be looking at initially seeing this stock drop, or the levels that I'm looking at. Initially I'm looking at 719, then I'm looking down to 710. I think these are going to be two critical levels to watch out for if the stock does drop. If you see a drop below that, I am looking for $7 on the top. Now, if we can stay above $7, if we see a little bit of red in the early part of next week or any point next week, if we stay above $7, I think things are still relatively healthy. In fact, I think things are massively healthy. I think in context, things will be looking great. I think that would set us up very nicely for the next run to the upside. Now, looking to higher levels, if we are to break out in that direction, which again is always a possibility, you are looking to initially break past levels that we've been struggling at, such as 748, 750. You're looking to break 760 from there. Over the past 6 months, you can see we're coming up to a key level of resistance here on the upside. This is in the 750s. So of course, approaching that level, surpassing it is going to matter a lot. Again, this has also worked as a previous support when we get up there. So again, it does add some possibility for the 710s to 720s holding up as a potential support here. So again, we are now entering a new range where we are potentially going to see, yes, maybe another dip, but we're looking at potentials of bottoms being higher, which is obviously a good thing. And I think as indicators do begin to cool off slightly in context, we are again still at a point where things are relatively volatile, especially here on the 6-month RSI, but I think things are now cooling off to a point where they're getting a little bit better, right? You've seen the stock essentially become stronger and stronger, and we may see that dip ever so slightly. But at the same time, it may not be as steep. I think strength is certainly coming into this stock, and again, anything above $7 in the next few days and weeks, in my opinion, is a win. In the midterm, you could be looking for a push, obviously much higher. So it will absolutely depend on how things go here. I think now that the indicators are beginning to cool off slightly, you're coming up to more healthy levels. Again, still relatively high here, but again, on the 1 month here, you can see the RSI levels beginning to cool off. So I think we're coming to a point now. See this one hold 7. And things are looking good. If we drop below that, you're looking for potentially concerning areas, because again, you could be looking to go into the 650, 660s. And again, to the upside, you're looking at levels into $7, $7.50, I should say. And then obviously beyond that, into the 760s, where things may begin to get challenging. That's all to see in the next week or so. It's going to be very, very interesting to watch. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this in the comments, so thank you for watching the video. Again, if you do enjoy these updates, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. And I should also remind you that I now have a Patreon page. So if you do not know, I've got a Patreon page over here, you will see. We've now got 10 members. Again, spots are limited, but I share with you all of the stocks which I'm paying attention to. I update this basically every weekday so that you guys can have all of the latest things that I am paying attention to in the markets. So if this is for you, link is first in the description. You may enjoy it. You may learn about some stocks, some opportunity potentials which you may not be aware of, so I do think it is somewhat worth the value. But of course, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. You can always look at it for free. Again, first link in the comment section. So thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, like I say, please subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in a future episode very soon. Goodbye for now. You guys are ready to get serious about trading for less than the price of a coffee every day? I've got to tell you about the new Patreon page that I have just launched. That's right guys, I have a new Patreon. I'm going to be sharing everything on here, from my personal stocks that I am watching to pre-market updates, as well as a Discord group which I have started. It's going to allow you to access similar-minded, like-minded people who are also interested in sharing their knowledge about the markets. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff over here guys. There's going to be a lot of exclusive content coming in the next couple of weeks, but do bear in mind, for most of the tiers, spots are limited. The Market Scout, where you'll gain access to the Discord, prices will change after 150 members. At the moment guys, I'm limited for time, so the Trader's Edge course and above, we're limiting the courses even lower, right? There's a limited amount of people who can join. At the same time, depending on the level of mentorship that you want, we have prices going all the way up from $14.50 to the highest tiers over here that you can see. Again, if you're looking to take your journey to that next level, on these middle tiers, this is personally the one that I would recommend, even though it's not the most expensive. It costs less than a coffee every single day, and the amount of information that you'll get here, in my personal opinion, is absolutely worth the value. At the very least, guys, you can become a member for free. The link is down in the description, the comment section, and the bio. Just give it a look and see what you think. And of course, feel free to sign up if you're looking to take your journey even further. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the video.